So in today's class, we want to talk about sequence and series. Sequence is basically a list of numbers written in a specific order. Each number in a sequence is called a term, right? So we have two major types of sequence, the AP and the GP. So the next voice you're going to hear is voice for the class of AP. Arithmetic, progression, arithmetic progression. Now, arithmetic progression, let me write it out. Sorry, some flies are disturbing me here. So we have this so please write down. Now, so I said a sequence where each term increases or decreases by, please, this is common difference, by a common difference. Common difference is D. So if I have, if you look at this, the difference between the first and the second term, remember we said when I gave you something like, let's say, when I gave us something like this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, for example, I said this is increasing to 2. Like, if you add 2 to this, you have this. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. If you look at this is the first term and this is the second term. All these guys. So in this case now, this is more like the second term. This is more like the first term, and this is more like. So let's say, for example, let's use this formula now. Let's say A equals to 2 and D equals to 3. So let's form a sequence using this formula. So I say the sequence is going to be 2, comma, for the second term, A plus 3, which is D, is going to be 5. For the third term, A is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, plus this. 6 plus A is 6 plus 2 is 8. Now this is 3 times 2, 6. Now, so I said this is a formula for AP. AP first and foremost, I said, is a sequence where each term increases or decreases by a common factor, a common difference, please, common difference. Now, I gave us an example of a sequence that which is arithmetic progression. Now, I said A, comma, A plus D. Now, this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term, and that is the fourth term. So I'm trying to construct the sequence for this. So I said let A be equals to 2 and D equals to 3. So for me to get the sequence for this, I'll say my A is 2, comma. Now my A is 2 plus 3, second term, comma. My A is 2 plus 2 times 3, comma. My A is 2 plus 3 times 3. So this is 2, 5. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2, 8. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2, 11. So if you look at this, each term is separated by each other by 3. So if you noticed, this is more like this is going up. If you add 3 to 2, you have 5. If you add 3 to 5, you have 8. If you have 3 to 8, you have 11. So this is the first term for this particular guy. All right. The common difference is always the second term minus the first term. But we're going to get to that. So first, I was just trying to explain the AP in this case. So this is arithmetic progression. There is a progression in an arithmetic way, like, you know, serial. So, can you guys hear me? Are you guys there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's proceed. Can I clean the board? Yes, of course I can.
Yes, sir, I can.
Alright, so let's look at the next one. Let's look at formulas under AP. Do you have your Doreen, please, could you help me after this class? Just look for the topic inside Prep 50. This topic, send it to me so I can filter questions and send to you guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all right, so let's look at the first one is nth term. Now, for example, remember what I told us. I said let's assume this is first term, this is second term, this is third term, and this can continue till infinity. So they can ask me to solve for the 20th term. All right, now you don't have to start writing this 20 times. So for example, they say what is the 8th term, or what is the 20th term? You know, they gave you the series. They can give you the first 4, like, you know, they give you 2, 5, 8, 11, and you're asked for the 20th term. There are 2 ways to do this. You can actually decide to write this guy, you know, continue 14, 17, 20, 23, you know, 26, like that. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. You know, you're going to continue till you get to 20. And apparently you might make mistake along the way. So they came up with a formula which we can use to solve for any number of terms that they are asking us to solve. So instead of me to start rewriting all of the terms, I could just simply insert the formula and get the number of times, whatever number of times they're asking me to solve for. So this is a formula. The formula is Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 d. So we're going to actually practicalize this now. We're going to practice it. So let's use, for example, let's say we have example. I want to be solving an example with each of the term. So let's say we have, let's use this particular one we had done earlier, 2, 5, 2, 5, 8, 11, 11 plus 3, 14, 14 plus 3, 17, 17 plus 3 is 20. All right, so this is basically, this is the first term, this is the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. So from our, writing it out, the seventh term is 20. So let's see if we can actually solve for, let's say, the seventh term. All right, let's see if we can solve for the seventh term to find what it is exactly. So with that now, let's check it out. So I'll come here, I'll say solution. Now our A is the first term. Please take note of that. I think I did that. A is always the first term. I already told us. A is the first term, okay? Where A is the first term. Now n is the number of term in question here, and D is a common difference. All right, so we want to see if it's going to give us 20. All right, so I'll come here, I'll say for this particular question here, my A is 2 and my n, I'm asked, we want to solve for the seventh term to see if it's going to correspond to this 20 that we have here. So I'll say my nth term is 7, and then I'll say my D is common difference. Common difference, please, common difference, let me just use this opportunity to, is second term minus first term. That is a common difference. Common difference is always the second term minus the first term. It's constant as long as you're dealing with arithmetic progression, right? So having done that, I'll simply come here, I'll say Cn. Now this time we want to solve the seventh term. So this becomes A plus n minus 1d. So what is my A in this case? A is 2 plus n minus 1. My n is the number of times which I'm looking out for, which is 7 minus 1. And this is a common difference which we did not solve. So we'll solve here. The first term is 2. The second term is 5. So this becomes 5 minus 2, which is equals to 3. So when you do that, this becomes 2 plus 6 times 3. Now 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. So that corresponds to what we have here. Now remember I said the sole aim of this formula is such that they can decide to ask you for the number of terms that ordinarily, if you're to write it out, it could actually exhaust 2 pages of books. So instead of you to start doing it manually, you can just simply insert the formula and get the answer. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's quickly look at the next one. Let's say find question number 2. Find the 10th term of the sequence. Find the 10th term of the sequence. And what is the sequence? 3, 7, 11, 15. So this is what I'm basically going to do. Now this is always how the questions will come. They could give you the first 4 values of the sequence, and then you're asked to do 10. So I'm going to do this manually, and then we're still going to use a formula. So if you are to do this manually, this is going to, if you check it out, the common difference is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. So it means that the difference between each of them is 4. So if you add 4 to the first term, you get second term. You add 4 to the second term. You add 4 to the second term, you get the third term, and so on and so forth. Alright, so now let's quickly do manually so that we can cross-check if what we are going to get is going to be the same. So this is going to be 3, 7, 11, 15. 15 plus 4 is 19. 19 plus 4 is 23. 23 plus 4 is 27. 31, 35, 39, 43, 47, 51, 55. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they asked us for the 10th term, so I even exceeded. So these other ones most likely is not needed. So this is the first term. The first term, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I'm to use a formula, we have A plus N minus 1 D. Now our A is the first term, which is going to be equal to 3. Our N is the 10th term, which is 10. Our D is common difference, which is 7 minus 3, which is 4. So you come here, you put here to be 3. Plus here is 10 minus 1 D. So 10 times, sorry, our D is 4. Yeah, so this is 4. So you first of all evaluate the bracket. So this is 9 times 4 plus 3. 9 times 4 is 36. 3 plus 36 is 39. So you can see what the formula has saved us from. So that is why formulas are very, very important. Alright, so we are done with that. So let's look at the next one under. Do you understand this, please?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so let's look at the next let's look at something else. Still under this, another subheading under this particular guy. Okay, so let's look at sum of terms. The next formula is going to be formula number 2. Now, please, do we know what those NAD stands for, please? Do we know that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, imagine this question I had given to us earlier. I gave us 2, okay, 3, trying to, I gave you guys 3, 7, 11, and 15. Imagine you're given something like this, and the question says, find the sum of the first 10 terms of the sequence. Find the sum of the first 10 terms of the sequence. Now basically, what they gave to us here is the four terms actually. See, I don't know why I had cleaned all of this. Okay, we still have it here. So we have 19, 23, 27, 31. So imagine if you add up all of this, 3 plus 7, because this is the first 10 terms. This is the 10 term, so this is 3 plus 7 plus 11 plus 15 plus 19 plus 23 plus 27 plus 31 plus 35 plus 39. So let me quickly press that with my calculator. So we have 3 plus 7 plus 11 plus 15 plus 19 plus 23 plus 27 plus 31 plus 35 plus 39. So I'm getting 210. I don't know if you have calculator there. Okay, you can verify it by yourself. So we have total is 210. Now this is basically adding up the first 10 times. Now imagine doing all of this. This is very stressful. Imagine in exams you can't start doing all of this. So there is a formula for us to do this. So the formula is actually sum of n number of times. So the n number of times depends on what you're asked for. Alright, so I'll come here. This question says sum of the first 10 terms. So I'll say S10. Okay, first and foremost, I'll say my n in this case, I'm asked for the 10 terms. My a, right, I can use these few ones. This one given to me to find my a is very obvious. A is 3, the first term. The common difference, the second term minus the first term, which is 7 minus 3, that is 4. Alright, so you come here, you say sum of the 10th term is going to be equals to, anywhere you see n, you put 10. So this is 10 all over 2. This is 2 into a is 3 plus n is 10 minus 1 times 4. So this becomes 5. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 times 4. So let's do this. So this is 9 times 4. This is 36 plus 6. No, we still deal with the brackets. So this is 36 plus 6 is 42. Please just 1 minute.